different stuff. And then other people, like, were just going to different areas to pray with themselves, like, to pray alone and stuff. And so I just, like, I was absolutely torn up about everything that had just, like, went down, you know. Like I said, I was feeling really selfish and ashamed and just embarrassed of, you know, how I let myself get. And so I just went and prayed by myself for a little while, and, like, I completely broke. Um, you know, and then, like, in my head, like, I mean, it was just God telling me, you know, like, quit being afraid, quit being ashamed. That's, like, the two things, I guess. Like, I didn't even realize that I was struggling with it. I didn't even realize how ashamed I was or how afraid I was to speak up and stuff. And so whenever he said that, like, because I was sitting on the floor, you know, I was sitting there crying my eyes out, whatever. And he just said to stand up. And so I stood up, and then he said, say it out loud. And so, like, after I spoke the words, I'm not afraid, I am not ashamed, out loud, like, I can't even explain the feeling that, like, took over me. Like, I've never felt anything like it before. Like, I can't explain it. It's just, I just have, like, I can tell you I'm not the same person I was a week ago. I mean, my heart's completely different. You know, and I truly believe it with my whole heart that I'm not who I was. And, you know, I've been saying that. I've been in church my whole life, you know. I've tried to live right my whole entire life, but I've never felt like I have in the past couple of days. And usually, you know, you come back from camp and you're feeling this way or whatever, and it's gone within, like, the first 24 hours. But I don't know if it's because I've been doing the Live Dead journal or whatever, that, you know, you're praying every day for 2.5 hours, spending time with God, giving him a tithe of your 24 hours a day, and it's 2.5 hours of prayer, of worship, of, you know, reading your word, just giving him time so he can work in you. And what you're doing is you're praying over unreached people who don't have the, like, Bibles or anything in their languages, and so that's what you're doing. So I don't know if that's, like, kind of helped me keep the fire or what, but I'm going to read Mark 8:34 through 38, because that's really where he preached from. And he was just talking about, you know, taking up your cross, denying yourself, you know. So I've never actually, like, understood what it meant until after this weekend. But it says, then Jesus called the crowd to him along with his followers. He said, if people want to follow me, they must give up the things they want. They must be willing even to give up their lives to follow me. Those who want to save their lives will give up true life. But those who give up their lives for me and for the good news will have true life. It is worthless to have the whole world if they lose their souls. They could never pay enough to buy back their souls. The people who live now are living in a sinful and evil time. If people are ashamed of me and my teaching, the Son of Man will be ashamed of them when he comes with his Father's glory and with the holy angels. Now, whenever I read that, like, he didn't even read that part out loud. I read that whenever I got home. And, you know, it just went along with everything that I'd learned, you know. We gotta quit being ashamed, you know. I mean, that's just what he's been dealing with me with. And, you know, I put, if a Muslim girl can stand up for God in her country and is willing to die to share his love, why can't we share in a school where the worst thing most people will do is laugh, like I said earlier? You know, it's time that we start denying ourselves and be ready to die for God. You know, I can honestly say I'm not exactly to where I need to be, but I know it's coming. Like, I feel it more in my spirit than I ever have before. You know, Shirley and I have talked about it. You know, you were telling me once the story about the missionaries and how they, in the old days, they used to pack all their stuff up in a coffin in order to go. Because they knew, you know, if they were serving God, there was a chance that they wouldn't come back. And, you know, that's to the point, like, that's where I want to be. That's my heart. That's what I want to do. You know, I'm ready to go where God sends me. I'm ready to take up my cross. I'm ready to deny myself. I'm ready to die if that means that I can reach at least one person, you know? I mean, and that's kind of what I got out of this weekend, you know? I mean, it was an awesome weekend, but